Welcome to another Gene Key contemplation video. Gene Key 14, the shadow is compromise. The gift is competence, and the siddhi is bounteousness. This one is another one that sits in my hologenetic profile in the Venus sequence, which is all about opening our heart in relationships. And there's many spheres that are in this Venus sequence, and the one that this one sits in for me is my attraction. It's called the attraction sphere, and it has a lot to do with the types of relationships I will attract into my life in order to evolve and grow and journey through the band of frequencies. And that's what we'll do through this, as we do through all of the contemplation videos. We'll journey through the band of frequencies from the shadow to the gift and ultimately the siddhi. And once again, for anybody who might be new to the Gene Key world, it's one of the systems that I absolutely love for a companion of journeying through this thing we call life. It's a poetry. I love it. It really resonates with me. It's the one I've been diving into the most recently, the deepest. And I've also, prior to this, done the journeys as well through expanding frequency and through a system and modality called color mirrors. And a lot of you still follow me from those days. And I just came off of a course with a bunch of the color community, the color mirrors community. It was a beautiful course on Inside Out. And the reason I'm bringing it forward is because there is such a beautiful synchronicity relative to the timing of being in this Gene Key and completing the course, relative to all the astrologers are talking about how we've just moved out of this long 20-year period of Pluto being in Capricorn, which is an earth sign, and Pluto being transformation. And it's now Pluto is in Aquarius, which is an air sign. Things are going to change quickly and drastically, and this is expressed in all systems that I study, which is amazing, in astrology, in human design, in the Gene Keys, in the color mirror system, in numerology, and all these systems that I've been studying. The message has been the same, and the message is always the same as I share in these contemplation videos. It's like, okay, in the shadow, we have a victim consciousness, and we are putting a lid on our capabilities of what we truly came here to be as humans. And as we remember why we came here and what we really are, as we ascend these frequencies, we step into this understanding of unity and our interconnectedness, and that love is all there is. And I've gone on a very deep journey since, well, let's just go 7 years, because I like 7-year cycles, and Richard Rudd speaks about 7-year cycles, and I've shared in other contemplations. I did a very deep dive into my shadow the last 7 years, and journeying out of the darkness can be really challenging, and I don't feel we can do it alone. And that's one of the reasons why I feel called to share and remind others who they are and where their power is. And when I was studying the color system, I was inspired to paint myself gold. I was having a bath in one of the bottles, as you do, and there are different color bottles, and basically you pick a bottle, the color resonates as a frequency, and it gives you what you need in that moment. And healing can really be that simple, and that's where we're moving to as well. We're moving to this idea that we are just frequency and vibration, and the future of healing and medicine is in vibration and frequency. And Nikola Tesla and many, many people have been pointing to this, and I think so many more people are waking up to this. So anyways, I was studying the color. I think this was back in 2016, and long story short, I was inspired to paint myself gold. And I did this because it terrified me, and I knew that, we have to go into our fears in order to stretch and grow. And I also did it as a marker of my commitment to following my authentic path, and for calling in my power, my authentic power. And that authentic power is based on love. And the specific bottle that inspired this is about anchoring, they refer to as the golden age. And the golden age is just basically this understanding that we really are that powerful, that we can create our reality, as I've shared in so many videos as well. And it's easy to to hear that and resonate with that idea and intellectually understand it. And then it's a whole other level for the body to sort of catch up to that understanding. So when I set that intention that many years ago, when I painted myself gold, which, by the way, this gene key relates to gold, which is why I'm weaving this story in. I put myself on this journey of exploring all the ways I wasn't being authentic, that I was completely blind to. And that's how it usually goes. With the shadow, it's in the shadow because we don't know what's there. And we don't know the ways that we're attracting different situations or relationships into our life that are mirroring to us who we are and how we are being authentic or not authentic, and getting super real with that. And, you know, in that journey, I broke my ankle. All the cracks were exposed in my foundation, or my so-called foundation that I thought that I had, and was restructuring my foundation quite literally as I was healing my ankle. And it's been a beautiful journey, although during that time it didn't always feel beautiful. But the Siddhi of this gene key, and I'm jumping all over the place, this is a slightly different contemplation because it really touched me personally in the synchronicities. The Siddhi asks us in this bountiness to have that spirit of gratitude for everything, even the challenges, and to be able to look at that and with gratitude and mind the gifts out of them. So let's kind of come back and go linearly. So the shadow of compromise is about how we compromise ourselves and our integrity. And this happens to all of us. As children, we feel this inner greatness that, you know, we can be anything, and we feel our greatness. And slowly over time, that spark and that flame inside of us dims, and we begin to compromise our dreams and our aspirations, and even that we can even believe in ourselves. And we start to live this, you know, second best kind of life. And that's the compromise, is about the compromise of our integrity. And so in that period for myself, I was really questioning, like, what does integrity mean? Because I had compromised my own intuition, knowing for others that I loved in my life. And I did not realize what that was doing to myself, and ultimately what that does to others as well. So the gift is about believing in yourself again and going for the dreams and daring to do things that society might think is different or unusual or judge in whatever way. And even the people that you love may not understand. And that competence, it's a spark. It's an infectious energy that is very attractive and abundant, and it's infectious. And it speaks about, Richard Rudd speaks about how this gift is not so much about individual prosperity, but it's about collective prosperity, and that when we come together and share in our gifts, we can create bountiness. We can create infinitely, which is what the Siddhi is about, is this idea that when we give from our heart, then we are given. And the more we're given, the more gratitude we have. And then the more we want to share. and we can share and share endlessly and tirelessly like the sun. And with this giving and sharing, the other aspect of this that I really had to learn is receiving. If we can't receive, then we're not in that true cycle. And sometimes we're unable to receive because we have a fear of our success. And that was certainly the shadow that I have been exploring, and it still comes up for me. The shadow is still always there. It's just a matter of being able to embrace it and fully look at it and fully understand what it is and why it's there. And it's been a beautiful journey. And I'm excited to be sharing. I just recently made a life update video, and I'll finish with this. That life update video was really excited to share, because I was sharing the market telling method that I have created over the years about sharing our authentic voice online. It's evolving, and it's turning into a movement beyond just the methodology, and I have some exciting things that I want to share, and it's really bringing up a lot of gratitude in myself. And when I shared that video, as we share on Flow Network, you stretch into gratitude and joy, and then equally at the bottom, the shadow that was hiding from that bandwidth that you were in you get up on the upside, and you also go into the downside, the shadow side, the lower frequency, the densities, the things that have been putting a lid on your greatness to begin with, and your ability to expand and receive more love and more gratitude. So I put that video out, I was super excited, and then the very next day, or it was even that afternoon, I was like, oh, who cares? Why do you even share this stuff? You're too vulnerable, you're too this, you're too that, and all the familiar shadow voices were there, and I just was able to see them for what they were, and sit in them and embrace them, and to go even deeper into my understanding myself. And yeah, so I am excited about the market telling movement that I am basically just being a vessel for, as it wants to come through me. Every time I pick up a pen or I'm writing on my computer, it comes pouring through me. So I'm listening to that, and I am sharing from that space. And I know this contemplation was a lot about my personal story, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this theme. Do you feel that you've made compromises in your life? And a lot of times, I said I was going to finish with this, but I feel this is an important point to make as well. When we've made a lot of compromises, we can feel like we've pigeoned ourselves into a rock and a hard place. We can feel really stuck. But the truth that Richard Rudd says is we're never stuck. We're never stuck. We can make a change in that very moment of realization that we have compromised our integrity, and we can do the smallest step by making one choice in one day that is of not compromising our integrity, and of believing in ourselves and believing in our dreams and believing in our aspirations, simply by even just researching it, simply by creating a poster with images that make you feel grateful and joyous. And it takes a little bit of momentum in the beginning to get that wagon, as Richard Rudd calls it, the wagon of our gems. It takes a bit of momentum to get that going, but once it's going, the momentum, then we're held by the universe, and things will show up. We will attract people, situations, abundance, love, whatever it is, if we keep believing in ourselves. And I feel like it's such an important message for these times. I know I needed to hear this message myself. So I'd love to hear from you, whatever you feel like sharing, either in the comments or my direct messages. I love engaging there as well. And I'll see you in the next video, and stay tuned for more on the market telling movement.